Yes, I am ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
Yep, I'm ready to go to bed.
We're ready for
I,
another episode of the Suburban Kings coming at you back to back. Late night recording sessions. We're fucking tired, but you know what? We're here and we're doing the damn thing for you, royalty. Hell yeah.
I just want to say one thing.
What's up?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. I said it
Right.
incorrectly.
How did a white person say it right? Come on. Seriously?
She's Indian. She's not even black.
Yeah, that's Kamala Harris needs to give a workshop on how to control and dictate a conversation, because what she was doing at that vice president debate.
Are you
So what is this dude saying?
okay?
I'm tired. I'm working on like 4 hours this week.
Blame it on the tiredness.
Vice presidential debate candidate. Vice president candidate.
The vice presidential debate.
What she just said was masterful. I was watching it and I was getting so excited. I don't know how y'all. I know maybe it might have not been for y'all, but like somebody who studies communication, I was having a nerd moment, bro. She was doing all the right things, even her body language, the social cues, the ways that, because it was a split screen. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I don't know if y'all was paying attention, but it was a split screen between her and Pence, which actually worked in Camilla's favor, because obviously Pence is taller than Camilla, but because they were on a split screen, she could posture her body and lean and make herself look bigger so that she is equal to Mike Pence. That stuff.
What the fuck does that matter?
Oh, it matters.
It matters a ton.
What, height?
Posture, how you carry yourself matters.
Charles, do you not know?
No, never mind. I get it.
I was about to break it down.
Continue on.
I was about to break it down. So anyways, in that analysis and the way, the timing and the way that she kept calling this man Governor Prince, referring to Donald Trump as Donald Trump, never as President Trump. It was masterful. I'm telling you right now, sign me up. I'm paying $199 to take that workshop, because she controlled it. She said, excuse me, Vice President, I'm speaking. And then for all you people who said that she did not answer her point, and I'm tired of people who are Republican or Democrat. I'm saying both sides. I'm tired of y'all calling the opposite side a dumpster trash or a dumpster fire. The person is not that bad just because they don't believe in your beliefs. Can we start, like, what happened to that rhetoric where we just listen and then we just have a conversation and we don't necessarily judge the person? I know Rachel's looking because, you know, our commander-in-chief. Actually, hold on. Let me strike through that. Donald Trump.
Okay, but if I can interject, I get what you mean about like being able to respect people's differences and differences of opinion. However, it is not an opinion to state that entire groups of individuals shouldn't have rights. That's not.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true. I just wanted to say, oh my God.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. If you ever given a workshop, just like my man Barry O.B.
Workshop? What is a workshop?
Have you never heard of a workshop, Charles?
Or like
where you go, or a seminar?
I've heard of a seminar. I've heard of a TED Talk. I don't know about no workshop. Like, it sounds like you won't start working for her.
A workshop
like
is literally
an elf and Santa Claus.
It's kind of the same premise. Workshop means that like they like hands-on work.
It's like an educational experience. It's not just
listening
to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like an instructive experience.
Seminar is like you listen to that person speak, right?
It's like an internship.
Sure, yeah, we can do. I mean, you're learning on. It's really just like I'm telling you. You're sitting at a desk or with a group of people, and there's the person who's advising the lecturer or the class, and they come to each individual group and they'll watch you present, or they'll show you the skills, and then they'll watch you, and then they'll coach you up on how to do certain things. That's a workshop. Actors do it all the time. They have podcasting workshops, which aren't really useful from what I've been hearing from most people. But
we're already amazing.
Sure, yes, we are. We're getting there. The things in my head, royalty, for season 3. You best. Did I just do it? Oh my God!
Did you already just drop the sneak peek?
No, I didn't drop the sneak peek. I think I might have came up with a mantra in my head. Season 3, you best believe. Season 3, you best believe. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to write it down.
Yep.
Sorry.
Anyways, today we're tired. We're exhausted. We got shit going on. Charles might have COVID.
It's not just me. It's not just me. Usually I just try to cover because I can't say Camilla, but it's wrong. Kamala. I'm gonna get it.
Anyway, Charles might have COVID.
Don't jinx me
like who the fuck knows what's going on. But you know what's important in this moment, in this week, in this period of time, in this entire fucking year? Do you know what's important?
I don't know, Rachel. What is important?
Taking care of yourself.
Oh.
Treating yourself.
Treating
yourself the way that you should be treated. That you deserve to be treated.
A whole lot of self-care.
The question is, how do we do that? It varies from person to person. So what I want to know is how you treat yourself in different circumstances. It doesn't necessarily have to be like Parks and Rec. The whole day of treat yourself. Just buying all the shit that you want because it's the day to treat yourself. It can be what you do to make yourself happy, or a little pick-me-up when you're sad. It can be what you do to calm yourself down when you're angry or upset. Like, it can be anything. It's treating yourself nicely. It's treating yourself the way that you should be treated. So, how do you treat yourself when you're sad and you need a little bit of a pick-me-up? What do you do?
I shop. Because typically I don't spend a lot of money. I usually save, like my life depends on it. So when I'm particularly feel low, I'm just like, let me just do some retail therapy. I like to keep up. I like to keep appearances. I like to keep up with the Joneses. So I'm like, let me see what I can put in my wardrobe. So that's what I usually. Or it could also be for other people. It just depends.
Charles?
That's it. I got to roll up a little bit of my old friend Mary Jane. Sit back, hit that real quick. Probably throw on some good tunes and
Sweet like Mary.
I don't know, just be grateful for life.
That's always a good one. Oh, I like listening to music. I like to have a good jam session.
I usually go out to maybe a forest reserve, like a nice forest reserve, if it's nice outside. The winter it's kind of a little bit more difficult, but during the summer I'll just go out to a nice little forest reserve, roll up, throw the earbuds in, and just appreciate nature.
I'll roll up.
It's kind of how I treat myself. Or I buy stuff that I don't need, off Amazon for some reason.
That's right. Do you, when you're sad or mad and you're listening to music, do you usually listen to music that reflects the mood that you're currently in, or the mood that you would like to be in? So if you're sad, you listen to kind of happy, more upbeat shit, better, good vibes, or do you listen to some kind of sad shit and just let yourself feel sad?
It depends. Do I want to make myself feel sad, or do I want to uplift my spirit?
I typically don't listen to music like that because I like to listen to the beats and the flow. But I guess it just depends, like Charles said. When I'm feeling nostalgic, I'll put on some SZA.
If I'm feeling down and sad, I'll throw on Jaded. You just know it's gonna hit the right part in your soul that you need. You feel me?
Sure, yeah. I have songs. You're saying you have songs that bring out emotion?
I'm sad and I don't want to be sad, I'll fucking throw on some shit that you can't listen to and be sad.
It's true.
Isn't she lovely? Yo, come on, man.
I never thought that making love could be more than it seems to be. It isn't serious.
Come on, man. You can't be saying this to that.
Okay.
And harmonica comes in. Come on, man. You can't be sadness in that. So you gotta have something like that in the tuck too.
That's why I listen to Bobby Brown. And I will never play you like a fool. I know. Don't be cool. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's times when like you can like afford to be sad and afford to be like in that mood. But then there's also times when like you don't have time to be sad. Like you have to just like get your shit together. So I feel like in those times when like if I'm having a really shitty day and something just like pushes me over the edge, but I can't stop. Like I gotta keep going. Like I'm in the middle of work or this, that, or the other. Like then I'll throw on like usually it's like some like exercise, like running, lifting playlist that I have to just like fucking get me in the zone and just push through it. But I will say, I feel like okay, let me draw back and be a little bit more. I feel like every white girl out there has like a playlist of like sad shit they listen to when they want to just like be in their feelings. You know what I mean?
Like face down in the dirt, she said it doesn't.
I don't even know what song you're singing.
Face Down by the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. All right, that's some like peak roller rink stuff right there.
Sure, whatever the hell you just said.
I know you know that song.
You know.
I don't know any. You know, I have a go-to song when I'm trying to be in my feels. You know, it's called Her Name Is Janae. It's Never the Right Time, and it goes, I could hold you down, but it's never the right time. We can make the I'm feeling myself getting into my emotions right now. You know what I'm saying?
Never would have made it. That song come on, you like, God damn, I can't be sad right now.
A good song for that. I used to love listening to Trey's song. This is the last time I'm all quarter, and it's time to put it down.
That new album's pretty good too, by the way.
I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't listened to it.
Pretty good.
Obviously, super nostalgia. Like I said, put on some SZA. That's just a repeat of nostalgia because I love how that album flows. Same thing with my man Bryson Tiller. And give me all of you in exchange for me. Girl. Oh, low key, I was listening to. Y'all remember Remy Boyz, Fetty Wap?
Yes.
Okay. So I was listening to that.
1938 or 1738.
No, it was my way.
Yeah.
I was thinking, all I gotta do is put a line through that. Goddamn. Cancel all my checks with a line through it. Yeah, I was like, man, what happened to Fetty Wap?
All I gotta do is put my mind to that shit. What are you talking about?
Let's
take apart.
I know.
Fetty Wap
was on a tour. He was like, Remy voice, yeah. You remember that?
Remy stopped writing for him, and he lost all his.
I'll tell you, Fetty was on fire, bro. I literally used to bump Fetty Wap's album sophomore year of college every single day to the point where I know my.
I want you to be mine again, baby.
Anyways, it was a wonderful time. I'm telling you, sophomore year in college was a joy of a lifetime. Honestly, my whole college experience was a joy. Honestly, it's a blur, but it was a wonderful time.
It's a blur.
Yes, that's why it was wonderful. Any time in my life where it's been kind of hazy, but then I remember it, wonderful time.
That's fair.
Honestly, any trip, like when I went to New Orleans, wonderful time.
Blurry.
When I went to California, wonderful time.
I'm sorry, Bryson Tiller doesn't have one song better than Wicked Games.
Oh, we're not doing this again. No.
This
is my episode. I will not allow it.
I'm sorry, Rachel. I just had to get that off.
No, we literally just spent the last 20 minutes of the last episode we recorded talking about it.
Rachel, I wasn't gonna entertain him. He's a hater, bro. Trap Soul is a classic. You got Secret.
I never said it wasn't a classic.
You got Rambo.
I say it was not a classic.
You got Exchange. You got Dope.
There's nothing to argue about, Deji. So let's get back to the show.
I will mute anyone.
Go ahead and mute that. Go ahead and mute that hater. Hater.
How am I a hater? I never said Trap Soul was not a classic.
Okay.
Anyways, what you say?
So, what do you do?
That's how I treat myself.
You sing to yourself and agitate Charles?
Yeah, I have dance parties with myself all the time. If anybody who really knows me, I sing and dance in life. Literally, I will sing like I'm in my own world, like I'm a crazy person. I'm not trying to give you insight into me. I just like singing life. I like to think that life is a musical. I've said this multiple times because it is a musical. Life is.
So what do you? All right. So you said you use like retail therapy to make yourself feel better. You need a little bit of a pick me up. What do you do to treat yourself when you can't or shouldn't spend any money?
It's a good question. I'm still figuring that out because every time I just buy. But if I were to say that, I probably should. I would probably say that I probably should meditate more. Definitely do like a lot more like yoga, probably like a lot more stuff that stuff that slows down, more mindful practices is what I would say. Definitely need to step my game up on that end because I'd be slacking on that. Because I usually just sleep and then I let my mind race and then I'm like, I still feel exactly the same.
So you said when you don't have any money?
Yeah, like when you shouldn't spend any money or you run out of your green friend.
Just beat them up. No, just play. I don't know. Maybe just after working so hard, I just take days to relax and just binge and watch a bunch of old movies that I haven't seen in forever. Like
I binge
take a lazy day.
Yeah, that's what I do. Actually, now that you said that, I usually binge watch a lot of anime when I'm trying to relax.
Is it anime that you've already seen or is it new?
Both.
It could be both, yeah.
Because I read somewhere on the internet, which is the most reliable source ever, that typically when people rewatch things that they've watched multiple times or listen to songs or music that they know really well, it's usually almost like a sign of anxiety that the people that have high anxiety usually rewatch or re-listen to the same things over and over because there's like a comfort level in knowing what's going to happen.
That's odd.
That's an interesting study.
Because like if you watch a new show, you don't know how it's going to turn out. You might like it, you might hate it. Like that, even that can cause small levels of anxiety. Yep. So I didn't even know that because like I rewatch it all the time. Like I listen to the same songs over and over. Like I like them. There's like a comfortability factor. And then I read somewhere that people usually with like high or really bad anxiety will like rewatch and listen to things over and over. And I was like, fuck. Like you didn't have to come at me so damn hard.
Yeah, I could see that, but at the same time, it's just like almost. Don't you just like the feeling you get when you rewatch something, even though you know it's going to happen, you're just like, that was still just as incredible as it was when I didn't know it was going to happen.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I do. Go ahead, Rachel.
I was going to say, I feel like you usually will catch something that you didn't catch the first time around. Like little subtle, almost like Easter eggs that are in movies, you'll catch the second, third, fourth time around because you already know what's going to happen, so you're more able to look at things that are kind of more in the background, and you can pick up on more subtleties.
I agree. I actually agree with both of y'all. So I get the comfortability. But for me, if it's new, the problem with me, if it's new, I'm probably going to binge it, which means I'm probably going to stay up and watch it, which means I'm just not going to get no sleep. That's who I am as a person. So I don't really care. The anxiety standpoint is just okay, am I going to stay up and watch this, or am I going to stop because I know what's going to happen and I can just watch it tomorrow? But for Charles, watching anime and you know what it's gonna lead up to, and then watching the climax is honestly, it's the best feeling in the world. It's very similar to sex in a way, you know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't take it that far, but
No. I'm not saying the feeling, but like like what it feels like to climax, right? But every time it still feels amazing. It's the same thing watching anime, right? For me, watching My Hero Academia season 3, right? We can get into it. Season 3, we watch All for One and my man All Might go bout for bout, and the cinema and the drama of what leads up to them fighting is fantastic.
That was season 3. I thought that was season 2. No, that's season 3.
Season 3, episode 10 to episode 11. I mean 10 to 12. So, anyways, just watching all that and all the moving pieces, and then you slowly see how the story had been building, not from season 3, but it's been building all the way up into like the second half of season 1. Like this was always inevitably going to happen. I love watching that stuff because for me, I just want to see, does it still hit the same? And every time the answer is yes in anime. I don't know why. I know what's going to happen, right? We know that Naruto is going to beat everybody, Madara, Kaguya, all these things. But when him and Sasuke put in that work, it still feels gratifying. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's something about it. Like, I knew it was coming. I knew Obito was going to get mopped up by Kakashi, but just seeing Kakashi with the handwork and the trickery because he's the copy ninja, it's just fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing for me with anything. We can do movies too. In Endgame, we know that my man, I Love You 3000 gonna die, but just the whole build up to it, right? Thanos was a monster.
Goddamn. Jesus,
if you haven't seen Endgame right now, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna spoil the whole damn thing.
Somehow I didn't see Endgame for like a few months. Like I'm talking like months. And somehow I didn't, like the ending never got ruined for me. I don't know how.
Any spoilers? That's good though.
It's a good movie. It's like
but like usually like people like, especially when a movie like that big comes out, people talk about it. Like you see it right away and then people have conversations about it. Somehow I like perfectly missed every conversation that happened around me about anything that happened in Endgame. So I had no idea. Like literally I had no idea what I was walking into. It was insane. I cried like 7 times.
That's a record breaker right there.
For that reason is the main reason why I had to stop watching Teen Wolf. Because I was like, man, I'm not watching this no more. Every time I come in and I don't watch it on school, guess what everybody's talking about? Oh my God, Allison did this. Oh my God, Jackson's the freaking whatever. I'm like, I was going to go watch it because I like watching. I don't like being a part of the party that's watching that at the same time and tweeting because I'm like, how are you paying attention to the show? You know what I'm saying?
True. It was really hard too.
Facts.
It was a great show.
I'm completely oblivious, I love that about me. Like, if I don't want to know something or pay attention to something, I'm not going to. So the fact of the matter, me going into class and they root, and I'm like, and I'm like, I don't want to know this about Scott. I don't want to know this about Spencer. I don't want to know this about Lydia. Oh, that's cool. You're just ruining it. Oh, Spencer. Spencer was Styles. Look at me. Scott. Was it Scott his name?
Scott was my character.
Scott. All right. It's been a long time. But that's
and I forgot the character names. That's hilarious.
What was Styles' name? That's gonna make me so mad.
Dylan.
No, that's the actor's name, Dylan O'Brien.
I swear it was Dylan Styles.
It was not Dylan Styles because Styles wasn't his last name. They called him Styles, but his last name was Stilinski.
Yes, it had to be Dylan.
Dylan was the actor's name. I'm pulling it up right now. You're gonna be wrong. I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong. His name was Dylan Stilinski. I know it was.
No, it was Styles Stilinski. I thought Styles was a nickname, but no, it's Styles Stilinski. I thought,
that's a very unique first name.
And the sheriff's first name was Noah? Who knew?
Yeah, that show was ahead of its time, but,
That was a great fucking show.
You want to talk about pandering, though, Charles. That show was pandering.
Or Zoo.
LGBTQIA community.
That's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine, but it was like.
That was, I feel like, the first one that was like really
we didn't
hot.
Get Black Panther in shows. Like,
are you gonna say the one movie that they gave us, Charles, that still happened to have a white person in the film, Black Panther, is pandering? I'm just gonna. I'm gonna be the Dr. Umar. I'm gonna just be Dr. Umar in this standpoint, okay, Charles? The one movie, the movies that we got before that, Roots, 12 Years a Slave. Don't get me started with Django. All problematic black male leads.
What the fuck is wrong with Django? Django's not problematic. He's a badass. Don't even tie that movie in with those other ones.
Django was a slave that happened to get free. So that ended up becoming a bounty hunter. Problematic. And the only reason he was able to be a bounty hunter is because he happened to be a bounty hunter with a white bounty hunter, which puts in the white man savior complex. I'm just white people always have to be the heroes in our stories. That's all I have to say.
There's not a story about a slave who broke out and became a bounty hunter without a white man. If we gonna keep that a stack, not at that time. That was not happening.
I'm just being honest. This is what they've been saying in the Oscars. The Oscars are too white.
But I'm not
this is why.
hate on that.
I'm just saying.
I'm not hate on the white savior complex. But even Black Panther have a white savior complex though.
No, Black Panther did not. They just happened to be white.
The dude at the end, he just happened to be white who just saved all the technology from escaping the country.
Oh, I forgot about that white guy. I did. I really did. I was just saying, even the most world-renowned, where everybody's like, I can't believe this didn't win the Emmy. The Help. Still, it was about white. It was about black women who happened to be maids and take care of these white homes and take care of these babies. And then,
it was about a white woman who was telling black women stories.
And she gave herself the credit, bro. She was shopping the stories, bro. I'm just saying, the white hero complex is just a thing. I mean, they talk about it all the time.
I'm not saying it's not.
Okay. Anyways, right.
It's definitely true.
What are some other self-care tips that you have for the royalty?
I mean,
besides binging your favorite shows, like what else do you do?
Meditation.
Meditation's a good one. Every time I've meditated, I felt amazing afterwards. Oh, that's a good one.
Wait, what'd you say again?
I said don't think negatively. Like, I guess that's because we all get in that mode where you just like want to downplay yourself and think bad thoughts about yourself, but at the same time, like, I believe in energy, so if you welcome that energy, that's what's going to happen to you more than likely.
Yeah. I used to do
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, go ahead, Rachel.
I was going to say, like, okay, I talk about TikTok a lot, but it's really entertaining. But one thing that's, like, going on right now is there's, like, this audio trend or whatever. It's basically about, like, intrusive thoughts. Like, you're, like, driving down the street and you're having a great time. You're listening to music, and then all of a sudden, like, this thought pops in your head. Be like, what if I just crashed the car right now? Like, those, like, random little, like, intrusive thoughts. But, like, the thing right now that, like, everyone's trying to do is, like, just say, like, no to your intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
So, like, you're driving and you're just like, what if I crash my car right now? And you're just like, no. And then you just move on. Like, you don't even, like, give that thought a moment in your mind. Mm-hmm. Like, you just say no. You refuse to let it take up that time, take up your energy when you're having a good day and feeling good about yourself. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's something that I'm going to try and work on because, like, I have, like, terrible thoughts. I'm like, okay, well, like, the reason that this didn't happen at work is because, like, this person just did a better job than me. And I'm like, no, that's not it. Like, sometimes shit just happens.
It really does. Shit just really does happen. I used to do positive. I did positive affirmations at a time. I think I did it for like 5 months, and it completely changed my whole entire life.
Like every day?
Every day, every morning. I used to say like the same 5 things. It was really like one of the few things that got me through like my experience at my last employer. Which we don't have to talk about, but it was dark days. I'm gonna let y'all know. But like it was like it was like some Kobe stuff. It was like, I'm going to be the best version of myself today. I'm going to perform well at everything I do today. You are smart. You are intelligent. You deserve to be where you're at. Don't be afraid to like be black or be Nigerian, you know, stuff like that. Like, don't, I used to say this stuff constantly. To the point where, like, now, obviously, you see me now, and I'm like, oh, cool. But that's because I did all that stuff. But it was, like, during one of the most difficult times in my life. But it did get me through that. So I always thought that was very helpful. I love positive affirmations. Sometimes I still use them. And I feel like as an athlete, you kind of just always have to. You just have this, which that's probably where I got it from, right? Yeah. When I'm playing football, I had to visualize me catching a touchdown or me catching a pass. And me getting freaky with the ball, making people look stupid.
Getting freaky with the ball.
That's what we call it, bro. You grab that rock and you get freaky with it. You know what I'm saying? You make a juke move here, or you make a step on there.
Face to your face.
I've never heard that before.
I mean, y'all did. I mean, first of all,
that's hilarious. You get freaky with the rock.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why you've never heard that is I don't know if you are talking to any African American athletes. That's all I was gonna say.
Really?
Yes, because I used it all the time. Get freaky with it, you know. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Get loose with it, you know, stuff like that. You know, they used to call me Frozo. So obviously that should just give you an example of how they saw me on the football field. But when I was in college, they used to call me Frozo. So just long and lanky,
I have no words for you right now.
Yo, be Frozo for Halloween, bro.
I am appalled.
Oh, wow, that's a throwback. Man, that's 8th grade me. Shout out to 8th grade. Hey, 8th grade me, yo, was so... Sometimes I think about 8th grade me and I realize, like, dog, that person alone probably could own his own entire sitcom. Because I was hilarious. But I also
disagree.
I don't know if you were hilarious.
I think I was hilarious. Let's count out the number of times I made myself funny for the enjoyment of others, which without me knowing, because, you know, I just thought I was doing it because I was like, yo, this is cap. But, you know, anyways, get freaky with the ball. That's my thing. Frozo. Because, you know, sometimes I'll be honest, I felt like I did run like Frozo, you know?
Frozone.
First of all, Frozo doesn't run, he glides.
You didn't even know the name of the person that people were calling, you know? I
knew who it was. I watched The Incredibles, but I don't really care about names. If y'all haven't noticed, Kamila, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, you know?
Daisy.
Joe.
Did you ever think that maybe they were just calling you Frozo because you were as lanky and black?
Oh, yeah, that definitely was a thing. And I definitely called them. You know, I always called the race. I was like, well, I got to be Frozo, huh? But I guess Frozo fit my personality because obviously the one thing they would point to is, Daisy, you literally talk like the character. Not from the, like, I sound like it, but, like, I say stuff like, women, where's my super, like, I had outbursts like that because, you know, anytime the black guy says something, you know, sometimes they got to be filled with some anger. Yeah. It got to be filled with some anger. But it definitely was.
Good to know.
But, yeah, more mindful practice and positive affirmations.
And a shout out if anyone's interested in doing some mindful meditation.
Oh, Brett Bogan.
Alumni, Brett Bogan. What is it? Sundays he does his Instagram lives. Or they're on Zoom, I think. I don't know. Either one. I did Zoom. One the other day, and they're quite lovely.
Is he a good leader? Is his voice very sleepy?
It is. I really wasn't expecting it because, you know, it's Brett Bogan, but it was actually really great.
Yeah. Brett has a great voice, man. His voice is deep, but it's steady, you know?
Yes, but I've never, really, listened to his voice, you know what I mean? Like, I've listened to him, talking conversation and stuff, but usually it's just, fucking around.
Ooh, good question here. Good question. Now that you brought that up, Rachel, have you found yourself listening to people's voice more that you do a podcast?
Yes, because I'm very self-conscious of my own voice. So I've just kind of become more in tune with not only just listening to people's voices, but listening to the way that they talk, listening to their inflections and how they pronounce certain words. Like there's this girl at work who like I really, not that I never paid attention to her, but she like really fully enunciates the word important. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's very much like important.
Gotcha.
And like I just like start to pick up on those things more, and I'm like,
got it.
Like I realize like I'm kind of like lazy with my speech. Like I don't enunciate as much as I should. But yeah, that's definitely something I've noticed.
Yes. How about you, Charles? Sudkage, you have any reply?
Like you just wasn't moving.
No, I mean I'm just trying to like. You go first. I'll go after you. I'm really just trying to think.
Okay, so then if
that's why I was just like, I don't know what to say right now.
Staring off into space.
I would say that
I'm gonna play. What's up?
Well, anyways, I'll answer the question. Anyways, I would say I listen to a lot more time. More often than not, I listen to people's pace a lot. I'm very interested in people's pace because sometimes I feel like sometimes people are too slow, but then I feel like some people are too fast. Yeah. I'm always trying to figure out that happy medium because with myself, I go back and forth all the time.
Mm-hmm. I think it also depends on like their current like almost like not emotional state, but kind of because like when I'm really nervous, I talk really fast. Mm-hmm. And then it gets like, then I get tripped up because then sometimes like my mind is going faster than the words are coming out, or like vice versa. Like I'm not thinking through my thoughts completely. So I like will be talking and then I'll just like get lost and forget like where I'm going.
Yep.
So I feel like, and maybe this is just like because I know that that's how I am. Like I talk really fast when I'm nervous. That like I feel like people who talk not necessarily slow, but a little bit more deliberate, I feel like are just perceived as then being more intelligent almost.
And I was about to say that I like studying people's pace because it almost dictates to how they feel, whether they're excited. Like sometimes when you talk very fast, that could either mean you're excited or you're anxious or you're just trying to make yourself sound a lot smarter. So you're just having word vomit, but you don't necessarily have a point. Other times it's like if your son's, you could be like super confident, or you could be trying to catch a train of thought, or like you're just trying to slow yourself down so that you can actually clearly communicate what you want to say. So I find myself doing that a lot because I know I do that with myself all the time. My biggest thing is that I always think that like I have to over enunciate everything because I don't know how many times people have said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" because my voice is so deep. So if I don't enunciate, it's always like, "Bro, it sounds like you're mumbling." I've done that so many times.
Yeah, God, I hate that. That's kind of where I was trying to think. Like, for me, I don't really judge people if they...
I said analyze.
It's more of an observation than a judgment, I think. Like, it just makes me think more about, like, kind of why they are the way they are.
Okay. See, when people talk super fast, I assume one or two things. It's just like, either you know what you're talking about, or you're just trying to sound like you know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And you don't really talk to people all the time. I don't know. There's been, sometimes we could be super awkward and just try to get everything out, like super fast because they're kind of awkward, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered somebody like that who just talks super fast? I mean, hold on, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah. All the time. I mean, like all in middle school, anytime we had to give like a speech or a presentation in front of the class, we would always tell the kids that were super nervous. They would talk really, really fast, and you wouldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah,
this one was about 200,000 million miles away from there. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you talk it super quick, you're like, yo, I don't even know what they just said right now. But for me, I get that same thing with Daisy, where it's just like, I have a deeper voice, so like, I'll process things faster in my head and say it somewhat like in the middle of fast and slow, and they'll be like, I can't hear what you're saying, you're mumbling right now. I'm like,
Yeah. Okay, I have one
so I feel people's pain on that, but
before we wrap up for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of going hand in hand with treating yourself and taking care of yourself is like treating yourself the way that you should be treated. Like, we're always like, you're your own worst critic, you're incredibly hard on yourself. And I say you as like the collective you as a whole, human beings, mankind, what have you.
No, I thought about myself only.
Of course you did. Do you think that you are as nice and understanding to yourself as you should be?
No. I'm working on it.
Yeah, so like...
Why do you think that you're not being as nice to yourself as you should be?
Oh, I expect too much out of myself. I think my expectations sometimes for my age are unrealistic, and then I have to temper myself because I'm like, dog, even some of the people that you are trying, well, actually, even some of the people that are success stories didn't get it this quick, especially in your field. So slow your roll, pump your brakes. That's what I tell myself. But then I'm like, you could do more. And then it's a vicious,
so for me,
vicious cycle.
I would say like, I don't know, like I push myself a lot, but then like if I just fuck up, I just like say negative things about myself. I'd be like, you fucking dumbass, you idiot, like shit like that.
I don't go that. That's self-hate to the fullest, myself.
I say that that's what I'm saying. Like it's only when it's like a super fuck up though.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes just piss you off, but I gotta work on that. That's another healthcare thing I gotta work on, and then I think I should just like, because we work so much and we just forget to just like take time to just think to your fucking self and have an actual conversation with yourself in your head, as crazy as it sounds, and try to like, I don't know, understand yourself the more as you grow.
No, that's a good point, Charles. Because I've been noticing, because I've been self-reflecting more from the standpoint of like, I'm literally having conversations with myself as opposed to just always analyzing and critiquing myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a conversation in my head. I'll be like, Deji, okay, how could you have played this situation better? You did this very well, and because you did this, this was the result. Not focusing on the negative as much, but the fact that like you're kind of talking yourself through what you just did, or like what has occurred, because you need to just process it, right? That has been very instrumental in my growth lately. I'm not even gonna cap. Good point. Good point, sir.
Yeah, that's why I want to meditate more, just to like evaluate everything. Like, oh, well, I did this. Well, this is why I did this, because I'm this way. Let's try to work on bettering that.
Right. Because that's all it is. At the end of the day, you more mindful in the things you do. It makes you super aware of where you're doing good and then where you're doing bad, and then you just keep working on from there because you're a human being.
Yeah, I mean, because you gotta think about it. You think about everybody else's emotions except your own, really.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say you probably think about your own emotions the least.
Which is
especially if
weird.
you love somebody else, like, you know what I'm saying?
Which is weird because you think about everybody else's. Like when it comes to your needs, most of the time you think about your own, just being selfish as a person. But when it comes to emotions, maybe because you can always see emotions, because everybody's bad at hiding body language and their emotions. Because you can see if somebody's upset, you can see if somebody's frustrated with you, you can see if somebody's happy with you.
Yep.
But you can't necessarily see your own emotions, and that could be why they're so hard to process. Oh. Damn.
Hey, well, he just hit that after he said that. Ooh.
Because I didn't even think about that. Is it because you can't see your own emotions? That's why they're so harder to process, as opposed to when you can see visibly somebody else's emotion, and you're like, oh, this person is this. Did I just have a breakthrough?
That's actually a good question, though. No cap.
Anyways, RBZ, I'm gonna just sit on that.
That you did, sir.
I'm gonna sit on that myself. RBZ, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely too hard on myself because I mean, and I think we've said it a few times. Like, I feel like I grew up faster than a lot of people, so I think I just expect more out of myself for where I'm at. Like when but like I feel like I'm doing really well for my age. Like I feel like like I have my life together, but in my head, like I should have it more together. Like I feel like I should have, like my debt paid off, and I should have a house, and I should have more in savings, and I should be able to do like this, and this. Because like I don't have like that. But I'm not looking at like where I'm at. I'm looking at where I need to go instead of appreciating like where I am.
Right.
And so I think
you just more gratitude.
Yeah, so I'm like I need to appreciate the better things in myself and in my life, and stop focusing on like what I don't have or what I need. I need to focus on what I do have, and be thankful and grateful for the things that I do have.
Being grateful. Stopping, looking back, and being like, "Damn, I actually did all this. This is good to."
They said that's one of the
just embrace it.
That's one of like on psychology to get. Oh wow, psychology. Sorry, I cannot speak English right now. Yeah, I know. They said that, and I've seen that on like a number of TED Talks. If you really want to be happy in this life, and you really want to have a fulfilling life, you got to practice more and more gratitude, because gratitude just changes your whole viewpoint on everything. It's not my words.
Well, let's leave them with the final thoughts of the night. Who wants to go first?
I fucking like it out the way. Whether you're somewhere high, down low, or you're working on your self-care and you want to be better, though. So remember to keep on living, because that's all we can do at the end of the day. I'm sorry that might have sucked, but I'm tired and I'm ready to knock out. So I'm going to just pass that on to whoever's next.
David?
All right, I'm good. I might go. All right, well, too, I just got a few things for you. I'm going to say these. Like, subscribe, share, repeat, tell a friend to tell a friend. We got merch. We sitting on it. Go ahead, help out your local business, not even your local podcast. Help out your local business, buy some merch, because when you do that, we can do more things on the podcast, and that means we can actually have potentially live events. This is just down the road, but I'm telling y'all what we're doing.
That was like not in 2020, but y'all know when it's coming.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We want to build a community. We work on it. So Royalty, help us build a community. We need you. But to what they both said, express yourself, treat yourself, love yourself, rinse, cycle, and repeat. Salutations, Royalty. Keep it lovely.
Oh my God.
Salutations.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, going off that, just remember to take care of yourself. Do the little things that make you happy or bring you peace or spark joy in your life. Just take care of yourself. It's the only life you got. You're the only one that you got. So just do what you can to make yourself happy. Keep it.
Oh wait, I have one more comment. Rachel, you sparked something in me. I don't know where I heard this from. I think I heard it from Charlemagne, but he got it from somebody else. He said the journey in chasing joy is the adventure of a lifetime, because it's a journey where you continue to learn about yourself. Just keep that in mind. Wow, I don't know how it comes in that mind. I don't know how. Keep it lovely, Royalty.